examination, midterm exam. Can I talk, please?
जी sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So, the topics that we have already finished, right? You know, all of the students, maybe you are well informed about all of the topics, right? So,
जी sir.
for your midterm exam, so what's the syllabus that will be assigned? Already we have learned about the zoo classification and zoo animal classifications and the duties or responsibilities of a zoo officer and many things, including the safari park, wildlife sanctuary, and zoo, etc. We have discussed, right, in previous classes. And then we have discussed about the lab animals also. I mean that the common lab animals and their feeding, their housing, and their applications, etc., we have discussed. And then we have discussed about the pet animals, including the dog and cat, right? We have discussed about the different dog breeds and their classifications, depending upon the different groups. And then we have also discussed about the cat breeds, right? And their management, their feeding, as well as. And maybe the last topics that was included here about the snakes. So this is the part that I have discussed. So any topics that I am missing right now? Can anybody clarify this one? Any topics that I am missing? Can anybody help me, please?
Snake.
Yeah, snakes. I mentioned lastly. Snakes also, yeah.
Sir, cat breed.
So apart from this, cat breed. Yeah, I included already here. Cat breed, dog breed, their management, and their implementations mentioned. So I think this is all about that I have discussed already so far. So what's your suggestions? I mean, what's your concept about the midterm exam? So the syllabus that will be okay. So can you please, Abu Tahir and Samia, can you clear me about the syllabus, which topics that you are going to be touches or conducted with these topics, which one you can choose and how many? So do you have any recommendations, please? Samia and Abu Tahir, please.
একটু কমাই দিলে ভালো হয় আর কি।
So it is better to read out something, right? Which is difficult to feel? Which one you are going to deduct it? You are going to be deducted which one? Okay, one chapter, one topics. You may, I mean that you may deduct it. You may deduct. You have one option to deduct. No more one. Only one. I mean that either pet. I mean that either dog, either cat, or snakes. Something like that. The first one will be very fundamentally, it will be very common. Okay. And then you have the options to alternate the dog or cat or snakes. Which one you are trying to deduct? Which one? Sorry.
It's a dog.
So is it difficult, dog? It is difficult, dog. Yeah, okay.
Sir,
Dog is
dog
fine.
এর অনেক sir.
Sorry? Dog?
Dog এর মধ্যে অনেক পড়া। Sir,
Okay, anybody can share, no problem.
snake.
Snakes. Okay, one guy saying snakes.
So,
And
snake
one
তো ভালো ভাই।
guy snake. Okay, snakes. And then?
Sir, snake বাদ গেলে ভালো হয়।
Okay, very good. And then? So I think most of the students, they are trying to deduct the snakes chapter, snakes, right? Topics, right?
जी सर
Okay, thank you all. This is the final one message to all of you. You know about the midterm exam and you know the criteria, what about the quiz and what about the broad question as well, you know. So you know the total marks will be 20, right? 20 number, right? 20 number. And the examination that will not be held in online. I mean, it should be offline and your chairman sir, maybe he will take the face-to-face exam. Okay. So on I will contact with your chairman, respective chairman. And then I will, sorry, question.
Sir, question type কিরকম হবে?
Okay, I'm telling. So this is the final one. Chapter is okay, syllabus is okay, and soon I will contact with your respective chairman, and then I will send my documents, and he will take the exams, okay, in time. And later I will notice and I will let you know about the exam schedule. Okay. So now the question is maybe what type of question will be? You know all the procedure because already you are in level 4 positions. So 20 marks is assigned for midterm, and among them 15 numbers is assigned for broad question and 5 for quiz maybe. Okay, it's okay. So what type of question will be? So the question will be, I mean, the fractional question will be, I prefer most fractional, and most of the question that will be technical question. I mean that if you perfectly attend my class and give concentration to my class during my lectures, schedule lectures delivery, I think all of you students will be able to answer all the questions properly or perfectly. I believe, and not only I believe, but I strongly believe that all of you guys possible to obtain a good marks. However, so total number is 15. So maybe question pattern will be 5 or 6 with including the fractional event. I mean that. Okay, let's talk about the Jew. So if I say, what do you mean by Jew? And write down its classification. So that is the one segment of number 1 question, A and B. Let's say A and B, fractional. I mean that. So maybe all of the questions will be fractionate. A and B, fractionate, and points, marks, or something. Okay, maybe one question simply, solely one question. Oh, okay, it is 3 marks. If it is one question, it will be 3 marks. But if it is the fractional segments, and maybe it will divide it by 2, 1.5 or something. So you will get the question within 2 marks, no problem. So marks is not a fact, but that will be the fractional format. I mean that if you attend a fractional question, it will better to understand. Realization will be good recap, and good concentration will be. So anything question or any more question, please, about the question?
No sir.
Okay, thank you. And if you feel any agitation and abnormalities, or if you feel any difficulties, please let me know and contact with me via Samia or Abu Tahir or our messenger group. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And yeah, already I have delivered my lectures documents, right? So here any problem regards to note or lectures?
স্যার মিড টার্মের মধ্যে তো স্যার আজকের লেকচার ইনক্লুড না।
No. Not only today's lectures, but also the next parts also.
জি স্যার, থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার।
তুমি কোথায় ছিলা?
না স্যার, মানে একটু শিওর হচ্ছিলাম স্যার, আমি তো স্যার ফার্স্ট থেকেই আছি।
হ্যাঁ, আমরা আলোচনা already we have discussed about our syllabus contents. Here it will be Geo's classifications, Geo's importance, and then cat breeds, dog breeds, I mean the pet animal, laboratory animals also including here, okay? But snakes, that will be the another. Snakes and today's lectures, that will be the another journey. I mean then the next journey, okay? Yes, sir. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about today's topics, and again good evening to all of you, because this is the time, I mean that this time is not good all of you students, because it is almost 6:30. So let's share our knowledge, and today my context, my topics, already you can guess what will be, right? Biodiversity, threatened species and their conservations. So in my previous classes, I have given all of you students in grouped. I have given you some topics. So here I also given some, the assignment regards to biodiversity, also the threatened species in Bangladesh, as well as conservation also I included there. But today I'm going to share my little knowledge about the biodiversity, threatened species and conservations. So let's start. Okay. So the topics that I am going to be taught. Threatened species in Bangladesh, you know. So here a lot of threatened species in Bangladesh. So later we will know about the threatened species, how can it be classified, and which are more vulnerable, critically endangered or endangered species based on IUCN. Okay. And then the simple phenomena and simple informations about the biodiversity and its importance, and what about the biodiversity of Bangladesh? I mean that the landscape of biodiversity of Bangladesh and conservation also. I have given more emphasis in terms of conservation in my previous classes, you know, all of you. Okay. And then the breeding, that is the most critically important for the zoo wildlife animals, about the breeding. So regards to breeding, it will be the breeding of zoo and wildlife animals. So here we will know about some breeding strategy, and as a veterinarian, what should be and what should not be included in a zoo or a particular region. Anyway, the later one is the factors related to breeding and reproduction of zoo and lab animals, wild animals, we will discuss later. So I think all of you know about the threatened species. As I mentioned earlier in my previous class, that the threatened species, that is the term that is given by the IUCN. I mean that International Union for Conservation of Natures. So they have given this term, the threatened species. It is just red mark or red zone for the wildlife animals, but not zoo, wildlife. So it is related to the wildlife. I mean that it should be enclosed, it should be assigned it will be conducted with the wildlife, I mean the natural habitat. So threatened species are those species that they are facing many problems, and very soon they will disappear, like etc., due to different reasons, different causes that will be involved in certain species extinction. So the species that will be disappear soon, this called the threatened species. So later slide that you will see here. So whole threatened species, we may classify, we may categorize the threatened species into three broad aspects. Endangered species, that is regards to the high risks of extinction, and the vulnerable species, that are the regards to mean that lower risks of extinction, and critically endangered, they are small group, small numbers, but day by day they are reducing in numbers, and they are going to be significantly decreased day by day. So this is the critically endangered species. So all of you are well known about the endangered species, vulnerable species, critically. So these three categories, you are combined, you may say, the threatened species. So what about the pictures of threatened species? Today the topics is that one. So before going to the air, you have to know the wildlife diversity. So wildlife diversity is a very short word and very common word. That is the diversifications of plants and animals in the earth. It includes the plant and animals with a particular habitation in the world, as well as in any region, any geographical locations, any territory. So this is very simple phenomena, that biodiversity. And the conservation, as I mentioned earlier about the conservation, that is the most important points about the wildlife, zoo and wildlife animal and its management. So conservation, I mentioned previously that conservation to protect the animal from the adverse situations by increasing the number of animals. Either it is the ex situ conservation or in situ conservations, to increase the number with a particular region by improving its health status, with the health status, as well as concerning the sustainability. So here, if you may define the conservation, so it includes the different aspects. I mean that it will be sustainable, it will be enhanced number of populations, and it will be eco-friendly, and I mean that it will be significant improvement of the existing animals. Okay, either it is any form, endangered or threatened or critically threatened, or maybe it is vulnerable, no problem. But sustainability, that will be concerned regards to the conservation. Okay, and I have given some assignment regards to conservation and preservations. However, so importance of conservation. So this is very simple phenomena. It is just literature, and you have to know the points. Just like say, I am just focusing here the biodiversity preservation. So preservation, why it is important preservation? To ensure the survivability of the various species. I mean, it may include the either plants or animals, say no problem. Ecosystem health. If the biodiversity conservation is not good, you will not get any clean environment. Either it is air, either it will be the water or climate regulation, etc., etc. So this is very simple phenomena. Just you are putting note about the points: biodiversity preservation, ecosystem health, cultural and recreational value, and then the economic benefits, very important for agricultural aspect. Climate change mitigation, that is the most vital important nowadays. It is the most alarming issue in the world. Many resources and many big amount committee and mega projects regard to the mitigation of the climate due to the carbon dioxide, sequestering of carbon dioxide regards to this issue. So that is the most alarming. Research and innovation, other importance, ethical and moral responsibility. Okay, anyway. So do you know all of the creatures is not only for your welfare. Okay, if you say one chicken, I mean, then if it is hen, it lays the eggs. Okay, if you remember that cows. Okay, but she gives the milk. But why? Why they are giving the milk? Why they are giving the egg? Why they are giving the meat? Why? It is not only for you. It is not only for your survivability. But they are giving this product for their generation maintain, generation for the generation maintain. So this is the ethical and moral responsibility. But we rear the animals, we rear the birds for our survivability. That is the point that I will discuss about interconnectedness. So it is between a good relation among between the human and animals, the good connections. Prevention of the species extinction. Oh, okay, it's very good. If you do the conservations, okay, you can sustain it for a long time. Okay, if you don't do the conservation, sometimes it will be disappear, it will be extinct. So never you will get those species in the world as well. So conservation is very important, I mentioned. So what about the Bangladesh? Bangladesh biodiversity, we have riches in biodiversity. We have total 5 regions in biodiversity aspects, including the flora, fauna, avian, freshwater ecosystems, and marine biodiversity. So we have about the 5 biodiversity aspect in Bangladesh. So here I am trying to show some message. The Bangladesh encompasses the 5 broad types of ecosystem, including the coastal, marine ecosystem, inland areas, forest, etc. But what about the countries about biodiversity? So here the number of the species, including the vertebrate and invertebrates. So it is not important as well, as I mentioned. Okay. So what about the